As a chartered accountant, I've been fortunate to be involved with many different clients in my life, and I noticed there's a big problem out there, and the problem was people were having trouble paying their bills. Bills keep adding up, and the problem here is that when people get injured or sick, they can't work, they can't pay their bills, and they can't go on with their life, which is a very bad situation. If you look at the financial industry today, we have lots of life advisors out there. They run around and they try to sell you life insurance, which is awesome, which is great, but it only pays you when you pass away. What if you get sick and injured? What then? Life insurance is not going to help you. So I noticed in the last 18 years as a life agent, I noticed there was a huge void in the marketplace. We were offering a lot of these death benefit type products like life insurance and all that, which is awesome if you pass away, but if you don't plan on going away in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years, then you don't get paid out. What you need is a solution that pays you today if you get sick and injured. Because sick and injury can happen to anyone. No one plans an accident. You don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, today's a beautiful day. I think I'm gonna have an accident today. Or, well, you know what? I'm not gonna have an accident today because today's my birthday and we're having a big party tonight, so I don't wanna ruin my birthday party. I'm gonna have my accident next week. I'm gonna wait until next week to have my accident because I don't want to inconvenience my guests that are coming out tonight to my party. You see, you don't plan your accidents. Accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. Same thing with sickness. No one wakes up in the morning and decides to have a sickness today. It happens, all right? If you ever been to a hospital and seen a hospital empty, I bet if you talk to anyone in the nursing industry or in the medical field, have they ever gone to work, walked into a hospital and their boss comes up to them and says, hey, it's empty here. There's no one here at the hospital. You can go home early tonight. It doesn't exist. Hospitals are full. They're at full capacity. Why? Because people get injured and people get sick. There's a reason why our hospital's at full capacity. It happens. It's unfortunate, but that's reality. But here's another reality. Life insurance won't pay you unless you pass away. The chance of you passing away in the next 5, 10, 20 years is remote. That's the good news. The bad news is that you could get sick and injured. So if you get sick and injured, you can't work, you can't make money, how do you pay your bills? You need to pay your bills. We need to find a solution on that. And that's what I've been focusing my practice for the last 2 years. It's been focusing on living benefits. What I want to do is I want to help Canadians find a way to pay their bills when they can't work. I want to help Canadians pay their bills when one of their family members are injured or sick and hospitalized. It is important that we find a solution to that. You see, the marketplace today in Canada is full of life agents. They promote the death benefit life insurance, which in my opinion, although important, is not the only form of insurance out there. You need to protect your ability to earn income. You need to have a living benefit, and that's where accident sickness coverage comes in. With disability, you got to prove income, and that could be very difficult if you're self-employed. So you need a product that is not income-based. That's where accident sickness comes in. Accident sickness products are also with no waiting period, no income proof, and there's no occupational restrictions, all right? Disability has a huge occupational restriction out there, okay? If you're in a high-risk occupation, you're rated, you're paying a lot more money, all right? So that's why accident sickness coverage makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, 99% of Canadians out there are not adequately protected against any accident or sickness. What happens if you end up in an accident or you get sick? Well, if you're in a hospital for 1 day, our plan can pay you up to $3,300 for just 1 day in the hospital. You spend 5 days in a hospital, we can pay you $6,000. You spend 10 days, that's $12,000. 100 days in a hospital, we'll pay you $120,000 tax-free with no income proof whatsoever. If you end up in the ICU, you get an additional benefit of over $1,200 per day in the ICU. So if you end up in the ICU for 10 days, on top of the $300, that's $1,500 for 10 days in the ICU. Actually, no, sorry. 10 days in the ICU pays you $15,000. 30 days in the ICU will pay you $45,000. 100 days, $150,000 in the ICU. If you break an arm, break a leg, you're not hospitalized, maybe you only spend a few hours in the hospital, a broken arm, a broken nose, even your teeth are considered a fracture. Or even maybe you got some stitching, or maybe you went in for a day surgery, maybe your appendicitis or something. Day surgeries, fractures, stitches, we pay up to $4,200 for that. That's the type of coverage that Canadians need. If they get into an accident, they get sick, they want to know that their bills are being paid. The harsh reality is most Canadians have no coverage whatsoever, and their bills are not being adequately paid.